and how many teams were talking to his agents trying to see how they could move up. But they got those 5-minute segments to do that, and teams that maybe didn't think they had a shot trying to get medical records, all those type things. And but with that said, I think it's a great thing. One, I'm really excited for J.J. Redick. J.J. used to work out with us when we were at Texas. He would come over. He had a home there in Austin, and would come over and I think he is going to be just an incredible mentor for Dalton. And I watched a lot of tape with J.J. with Dalton this year, and one thing J.J. said, he said that he wanted to really put a big emphasis on player development, which Dalton's going to be a great guy to have a chance to work under that. And so I think all said and done, I think it's a great scenario for Dalton, and he's excited about it, and has a chance to go to one of the greatest franchise in sports history, and plays certainly some of the very best players and one of the best of all time. And and he's excited, and we're excited for him.
Was he able to keep his spirits up as he kind of was falling?
Yeah, I think all because it's an experience. I told him, I said, now every player that we ever recruit, every player, their dream is to one day dream about having their name called. And as you know, 99.9% of them don't get that opportunity. Just have a chance to be in that green room and have your name called, regardless of where it might be, is in itself a dream come true. And then you add on the fact that he's going to really a historic franchise with just an incredible history. But Dalton is, we were sitting there talking, well, you got to Tennessee in a roundabout way in terms of, not many people knew about you, and now you've always sort of kind of had a chip on your shoulder wanting to prove people wrong, and you can use it that way too. But this is nothing to be ashamed of or any of that. I think every player wants to be a lottery pick, but still, sometimes it works out better with who you get picked by, drafted by, and in this situation, I think it's great for him.
Coach, you were up there the other night. What was that whole experience like with the family and everybody else?
Well, he's got such a great family. He had a lot of family there, and had traveled a long way to be there and be a part of it. They had gotten there a couple of days before, and got to enjoy New York. But they were, you can imagine, they've watched him grow up, and they would tell you that they're not surprised by it. They're not surprised by it, and he grew up as a kid talking about it, and like I said, a dream came true for him.
What was this past week like for you, between flying out to Omaha, being there for that, flying to New York, and being there for Dalton and everything?
Well, my text finally went over 1,000, but people texting. But one, it was honestly being there for the national championship game, and was extremely special. I'd been there one other time, and it was at Texas. And I told Frank Anderson we're 2 for 2, because Frank was the pitching coach at Texas when I was there, and he won it that year. And really one of the highlights with everything that went on was when we were getting ready to leave. I saw Frank sitting in the dugout by himself, and it really touched me. He was there when everybody was gone, just sitting there on the back of the bleachers looking out onto the field, and I've got so much respect for him. But Tony and what he's done is really remarkable. I keep asking myself many times, how's this all come together? So it seems quickly here at the University of Tennessee, but I was asked that question yesterday, and it goes back to leadership. We all know that it starts at the top, and I say it every time I get a chance to talk about Randy Boyd and Donnie Plowman and Danny White. They're the ones that have set the bar, set the standard, and there's a real synergy about what's going on here in our athletic department, and we're on a big wave right now. We hope we can turn it into a tidal wave.
What stands out about your team so far this summer?
Work ethic. They've again, our older guys, I think, have done a really good job of coaching our younger guys, but the group that we've got coming back, the young guys have a better feel for what's going on. They've all improved. Certainly the guys that are new are learning still, but been great teammates, very humble, wanting to learn, knowing they've got to pick things up quickly, and we're all excited about what we've done up to this point. Yesterday was the first real day that we really went up and down the floor a little bit, but we get back here after the fourth, we'll take it up a notch.
Coach, you've got a ton of guys drafted. Why was it important for you to be there for Dalton tonight?
Well, if I let you read the text, I had to go. You know, Dalton really called me and told me, he said, Coach, it would mean a lot to me if you would come. And he said, it really would. And I said, you don't have to say anymore. I'll be there. And long night for everybody, but it's well worth every minute of it. Just really being with him and knowing how hard he worked and how much he loves this university and the state of Tennessee and Vol Nation. And he kept talking about it. If he's told me once, he's told me 1,000 times. He said, I wish I could go back and do it all over and be at Tennessee 4 years. But the mark he made in a year is pretty remarkable. And what he did for us is, you know, and the fact, honestly, it touched me that he said, Coach, it would mean a lot to me if you'd come. And I said, I'll be there.
You touched on it a little bit already, but what are some of the ways that J.J. Redick, a guy like that, can maximize what Dalton can do on the floor?
Well, J.J., one of the incredible work ethic. I can remember him coming in, and Coach Lynch was with us at the time too, and Lynch would be passing the ball, and it wasn't where it's supposed to be. He said, "You got to throw it here," you know, and he was very organized, knew exactly what he wanted to get done, and I think just his work ethic, I think he's going to love that about Dalton, because Dalton is going to be in the gym as much as JJ was, and I think JJ will pick up on that really quick. And and the fact is, Dalton has watched tape of him. I think JJ will talk to him about even getting more scrappy and what he's going to have to do to become even a better player in all areas of the game.
Could you talk about your team, this current team, a little bit? Summer's always important. Is it even more important now with the transfer portal and like you're blending, you know, so many new guys, not just new faces, but new faces who are going to play?
Well, I do. I mean, I think every year you've got to continue to get better, and you know, we really are excited about what we have, and some guys have maybe surprised us a little bit, but everyone that we've gotten. You think you've ever done work like that in your life? You ever driven? Yeah. Anybody ever driven a forklift?
Yep.
Huh? You good at it?
Yeah, of course.
My first year in coaching, I was at the Hoke Lumber Company. I had to drive those around stacking lumber. And I'd come in to get my orders, and the guy kept telling me, he said, if you don't slow down, you're going to run through this building. Well, I ran through the building one day. And the worst part was he was at his desk, and it knocked him back. He didn't fire me, though, you know. But, you know, I think every summer is important. And right now, as a coaching staff, we really put so much emphasis on each individual guy in terms of trying to get that person to understand how we see him right now, to keep building roles and keep getting guys to understand what they need to do to take the next step to get better and help our team. And so we spend a lot of time not just on the court but talking. And obviously it's a big summer in the weight room. They're up there right now, and we feel like we've got to put weight on certain guys, and a couple guys we need to get them to where they have, you know, just their cardio goes up to a whole different level. And I would tell you the new guys that are here would tell you that it's been totally different for them. They would tell you it's been good for them, but it's something that they've never done up to this point.
Anything else for Coach?
Okay, one more if you don't mind, Coach. How much has your philosophy about the transfer portal changed over the years, and especially maybe with Dalton? How much did what Dalton did this year inform how you went about your business?
Well, I think we're like anybody. When we got in it, I mean, everybody just started with not knowing how it was going to work. You certainly realize that you're going to have to make adjustments. I think in sports, I mean, I go back to just like recruiting. I mean, when I started, you could recruit every day of the year. Then he started no phone calls, this, that. I mean, it's all about adjustments, and not just because of Dalton. I mean, with the way that, you know, we had guys, as you know, that we didn't expect to leave. They left, and but I think we were in a position because our staff does a great job of trying to stay ahead of everything, that we knew that we might have to do this or do that. And I think now with the portal, you really have to expect the unexpected. And with that said, it's all about adjustment, and who knows where it's going to go. I don't think anybody still knows where this whole thing is going to lead, but it is what it is right now, and you either embrace it or you really fall behind.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Gee, you done a good job today?
100%.
Are they hurting?